Your life isn't really what it seems, and I can prove it with one simple story. The Allegory of the Cave. Once upon a time, in a far-off land, there was a group of people who lived their entire lives in a dark cave. They were chained to the cave wall, unable to move or turn their heads, so all they could see was the blank wall in front of them. Behind them, a fire burned, and between the fire and the prisoners, there was a walkway where people carried objects and figures on their heads. The prisoners had no idea what was going on behind them, but they could see the shadows of the objects and figures on the wall in front of them. They believed that these shadows were the only reality, and they spent their entire lives, day in and day out, trying to make sense of them and interpreting their meaning. One day, one of the prisoners was freed and forced to leave the cave. At first, he was terrified. As soon as he left the cave, he was blinded by the sunlight outside and could not see anything clearly. But as his eyes adjusted, he saw the world outside the cave for the first time. He saw the trees, the animals, the sky, and the sun. He realized that what he was seeing in the cave his whole life were merely projections of a much more complicated and beautiful reality outside of his perception. He was amazed by the beauty of the world and the diversity of its inhabitants, and wanted to share his newfound knowledge with the other prisoners in the cave. But when he returned to the cave, he found that his fellow prisoners did not believe him. They thought he must have lost his mind when he left the cave, and refused to listen to the truths he was offering. The allegory of the cave is a powerful metaphor for the human condition. It suggests that we are all like the prisoners in the cave, trapped in our own limited perceptions of the world, unwilling to embrace the unknown. We may think that what we see and experience is the whole truth, but in fact, it is only a small part of a much larger picture. Return to the cave or leave the cave. Leaving the cave in the allegory of the cave represents a philosophical journey from ignorance to knowledge. It signifies a willingness to question what we think we know and seek a deeper understanding of reality. By leaving the cave, the free prisoner is able to see the world as it truly is and gain knowledge of the true nature of reality. Staying in the cave, on the other hand, represents a refusal to question our perceptions and a contentment with the status quo. The prisoners who remain in the cave are limited to their own subjective experiences and perceptions, and are unable to see the world beyond the shadows on the wall. They are stuck in a world of illusion and cannot grasp the true nature of reality. They simply stick to the given norms and traditions of their living conditions with no desire to seek more. They believe they understand the whole nature of reality, but could not be further from the truth. The philosophical consequences of leaving the cave are significant. It suggests that true knowledge and understanding come from questioning our assumptions and seeking the truth despite how uncomfortable it may seem at first. It encourages us to explore new ideas, experiences, and perspectives, and to challenge our own beliefs and biases. Leaving the cave can be seen as an invitation to break free from the limitations of our own minds and to open ourselves up to the vastness of the universe around us. Staying in the cave, on the other hand, will lead to stagnation, complacency, and a lack of growth. It represents a refusal to engage with the broader world and a rejection of the potential for personal and intellectual development. By staying in the cave, we limit ourselves to a narrow and subjective view of reality and miss out on the richness and complexity of self-development. This can manifest itself in refusing to explore new cultures, philosophical schools of thought, innovative technology, and ultimately leads to the stagnation of our human potential. Application of the allegory of the cave in our modern world. The allegory of the cave is as relevant to individuals in the world today as it was when it was first conceived. In fact, in today's fast-paced and information-rich world, the allegory takes on even greater significance. Like the prisoners in the cave, we are often limited by our own perceptions and biases. We are bombarded by information and stimuli from a variety of sources, but often fail to critically examine what we see and hear. We rely on social media algorithms to tell us what news to read, and we surround ourselves with people who share our own beliefs and opinions. This can create an echo chamber effect, where we only hear our own voices and perspectives, and are unaware of the diversity of thought and experience in the bigger picture. In this sense, the allegory of the cave is a call to action. It invites us to question our own assumptions and to seek out new ideas and experiences. It encourages us to engage with people who have different backgrounds, beliefs, and perspectives, and to broaden our own understanding of the world. In the age of technology, leaving the cave might mean disconnecting from social media and actively seeking out information and experiences that challenge our own views. It might mean engaging with the world around us in a more meaningful way and taking an active role in shaping our own experiences and perceptions, rather than just being a mindless consumer of a world created by humans no smarter than us. The choice is yours. The Allegory of the Cave reminds us that the choice is ours. Like the characters in The Matrix, we have the power to choose the path we take in life. We can choose to remain in the cave, limited by our own repetitive thoughts and biases, living life on autopilot. Or we can choose to step outside of our comfort zones and embrace the unknown. The world is full of infinite beauty, complexity, and diversity, and by leaving the cave, we can experience it all. We can develop a whole new understanding and appreciation of the world. Ultimately, the choice is yours. Will you take the blue pill, stay in the cave, and remain limited by your own perceptions and beliefs? Or will you take the red pill and choose to break free and explore the vastness of the world? If you decide to take the red pill and embark on a journey of self-discovery and enlightenment, what you find and the person you become may just shock you.